You cannot buy an iPhone that is like $2,000 and having a salary of just $1,000. They prefer to go in debt to, borrow money from the bank just to buy an iPhone. How can you be that crazy? Hi everyone, welcome back to Unpopular Opinion, and the video of today will be a little different than usual because sometimes I have this feeling inside me that I really need to share with someone, and I cannot open another channel just to do that. So let's talk about this in this channel. Stop wasting your money. I'm talking seriously. I'm tired of having all around me people that claim to be poor, they claim to have a very low salary, and then they waste all their money on the wrongest things on the planet. Okay, let's start from the concept of poverty. Poverty, we learn when we are young, means that you don't have a roof or above your head, you don't have food to eat, and that means being poor. While, in this situation, in the current stage of the civilization, especially in the rich countries, people claim to be poor just because they cannot afford the new iPhone, they cannot afford a trip to Australia. I remember when I was a kid and my parents were two professionists. Okay, my father was an engineer, my mother an architect, so they were earning, we can say, more than the average people, but we were not rich. And at some point we were talking about going to Australia, and I remember that at the end my father told me we cannot go to Australia because it's very expensive and we don't have enough money to go there. We have probably the money, but it would be a very huge investment, so we cannot go. And I realized as a kid that if I wanted to go to Australia to see the koalas, the kangaroos, and all the dangerous animals in Australia, I needed to earn more money than my father, than my mother, and so on. While I see that now that I'm 30 and I have plenty of friends that they don't earn like my parents, they go to Australia, they go to America Latina, they go to United States. I live in Europe, so it's an expensive trip to go there. They go to Thailand, to Indonesia, to Japan. That is very expensive. We are talking about thousands of euros that they go away just with the flight, but they do that. And I'm shocked because I say, but if my parents that were richer than you could not afford it, why you can go there? Okay, the prices of the planes didn't get that much cheaper. Okay, so how is possible? And I realized that is not we are richer than before, but it's the people that consider themselves more poor because they are probably obsessed with all the stuff that they watch that they see in the social networks. So there are many influencers that are going all to Indonesia, to Bali, so have to go there too. There are many influencers that are buying stuff from expensive brands, and you have to do the same. The new iPhone, like the iPhone for me, it's for rich people. Okay, you cannot buy an iPhone that is like $2,000 now and having a salary of just $1,000. Okay, it's crazy, but I see that many people do that. They don't have the money to invest, to save for a project in the future, but they prefer to go in debt to borrow money from the bank just to buy an iPhone. How can you be that crazy, that insane? And many other people that they are always poor, but they always go to fancy restaurants even to drink a couple of cocktails now that in Italy they're like 15 euros each one. Like for many people it's the salary of one day, so you're wasting the salary of one day just to get a couple of cocktails. Okay, you cannot do that. If you are poor, you cannot go to Thailand, to Australia to buy an iPhone. You cannot do that. You have to become rich first. You have to focus first on how to make that level of money, and then you can afford rich people stuff, rich people trips, and so on, but not the contrary. While people, they want the rich people to pay a lot of taxes, but for what? Just to have more money to waste on what? On another trip on a Lamborghini, because this is what most of poor people would do. Okay, if you give me $1 million, I would invest in societies, in companies. I want to create hostels, restaurants. I want to do a lot of things, while most of the people just, oh, I will go to the trip there, I will buy a car there, because this is what people care. When you don't need the clothes, you don't need expensive things. Okay, before I was more like that. I was buying like new clothes, there was a new brand that I like. So I was not rich, but at least I could afford one piece of clothing. Okay, but now I don't care anymore. Like my shoes work, they don't have big holes, so I can use them. Why should I buy another t-shirt if I have seriously 20 or more, 30 t-shirts in my wardrobe? Okay, why do I need another t-shirt? And there is the shopping therapy. People go to buy just because they feel better, and at the end, they just wasted their income. They are poorest than the month before, even if they have a high salary. For example, I save most of my money, I invest most of my money, even if I earn a lot sometimes, some months, then I just put all this money in investment, because this is the best thing to do. And people get angry with me, why you don't want to spend on that, why you don't want to spend on going on a restaurant, why you don't want to spend on clothes, on do expensive things? Because I want to invest in my future. This is what I care. Okay, I will forget about a cloth, I will forget about a restaurant, I will forget about anything like that, probably a trip, no, but I want to first become rich, and then I want to afford rich things. Well, people do completely the contrary, and then they really claim to be poor. They think in their head that they are poor when they have food, they have a roof above their head, but they generally think that they are poor, they cannot afford things, when you can afford most of the things in the world that are necessary. Okay, and an iPhone, an expensive a phone, a cloth, or trip is not necessary. Okay, and I'm really tired of that, even because you see people all around the social medias that they are buying everything. Now TikTok, let's say it like it's not anymore a social platform, it's just a selling platform where people have their shops, and they find a way to sell you everything. That's the truth. So please stop thinking like the most of people, and I don't know, probably there will be few people watching this video, and even fewer will listen to what I'm saying. But believe me, try to stop to waste your money and invest them. Invest in your future, in your health, in your persona, but stop wasting money on the stupid things that are just for rich people. And if at some point you become rich and you want to buy a phone of 1,000 euro, it's okay, but you will earn 10,000. But otherwise, just stop wasting your money and don't waste your time. Invest money and time on yourself. That, believe me, you will feel better, you will stop to complain that you are poor, and you will understand and work on how to become rich. Thank you for following me, and see you very, very soon.